So we became a 1 Million Cups community, 1 Million Cups McLean, last fall, late fall, and so the idea is for people who are interested in interesting things, have entrepreneurial ideas, are in the process of a startup, that kind of thing, for them to come together as a community and to support each other and hear from one another and kind of provide feedback in a very kind of educational based sharing platform. Does that seem fair?
I love it.
Okay. So you are welcome to come every Wednesday at 8 a.m. and we also are encouraging people to apply to present. It's a very easy application process through our website, 1millioncups.com/McLean. And you can talk to me, Carrie. I am on the organizer team and I work at Illinois Wesleyan here in town at the Action Research Center. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we will hear from Joe and Brandon, and they are presenting on the Slingshot co-working space, which you are sitting inside right now, and to talk a little bit more about what they do here and what you can do here.
Thank you, Carrie. That was wonderful. That's great. All right, so as Carrie mentioned, I'm Joe, this is Brandon, and we are members of Slingshot. Slingshot is, as you can tell, a co-working space, but it's a little bit more than that, right? So we do a lot of community outreach through open meetups. They're open to the public, they're completely free. This is our calendar for end of January through, I think, the end of February, 27, almost the end of February. But I'll give you an idea of some of the open open meetups we have. Open Coffee Club, which is a great way to talk about ideas people have in business, kind of formalize those ideas and see if we can help people launch their dream business. There's also Bootstrappers, which is the next step in that process, which is taught by Brandon. And Bootstrappers is lean philosophy on business startups. So it'll help you really formalize your business process, go out and test your business, and actually literally go out and test your business, to knock on some doors and see if you can gain some traction with your business idea, and meet some folks like you in the audience to again grow that business. And then some more focused meetups such as Hackerspace, Node School. I think you can probably tell by those titles we have a little bit of tech flavor here. And that's sort of influenced by the community and the members that we have of our Slingshot co-work space. Brandon, you want to give an overview of maybe some of the businesses, including your own?
Yeah, so there's, if you look at the chalkboard up there, that needs to be a little bit updated, but that is a good idea of how many people are working out of here. I would say at any given time, there's a mix between 3 or 4 startups working out of here. The names, I try and rattle them off, are Speakeasy, which is my company, Jarek is QuickPix, Joe works for BitAML, Chris, who is on coffee duty, it works for Watch Me Work. Who am I missing here? InternRocket.com, Begin.io. There's a lot of companies, a lot of them are tech-based, and we're all working out of here, we're all collaborating, we're all sharing ideas. And if you could imagine, this place is really special because you don't, when you're starting a company, you have 1 employee or a 2-person team, 3-person team. You don't want to pay for a giant office space. You don't want to work out of the library. Where do you go? You go to a place like this, meet with a lot of like-minded people, and just cross-pollinate ideas. And this place is magical. So we are all it's like a force multiplier for us, bouncing ideas off. We all have different experiences, come from different places, have different ideas on how to do things. And every single person who comes in here just gets like a jolt of resources and value. So we really collaborate really well here. And I'm trying to think, where should we go next?
Well, I think that to build on that, what's great about being here is it's low cost too, right? So you mentioned we don't need a grand office as a startup.
Right.
We just want to have a nice space to be able to collaborate. And for $50 a month, our entrepreneurs get to have a space here and get all the perks that come along with this space, and again, all the networking. And it's underwritten by our sponsors, which is really great to have sponsors like State Farm. We have a whole list back here: State Farm, NVIDIA, Emerging Business Services, Bartell Powell, the BN Angels, just to name a few, which gives us that sustainability, right? So it allows us to come in at very low cost to start our business, but also gives us the resources to be able to have the things that we have here, to put on different events and things like that.
Some of the amenities you get for being a member here, once you pay the $50, is a key, so you can come here 24 hours a day. We typically lock the door when you come in because a lot of people, it's such a busy storefront. people are like yanking on the door, seeing what's going on in here, and we're trying to work. So if you lock the door, people knock, they want to know, we open it, we're friendly about it, but for the most part, the door's locked. You can come in here at 4 in the morning if you really needed to. Super fast internet provided by Servin. Fiber, it's 100 megabytes up, 100 megabytes down. This is the open collaborative room. I don't know if you guys had a chance to travel into the dungeon back here, but there is a private conference room where you can take a private call, have a private meeting, and then in the back, as this place develops, is going to be more of a larger boardroom with a table, this size with a projector and nicer chairs, and then there's a kitchenette in the back. So all this stuff is available, and all we do is sort of loosely reserve, hey, I need the conference room at 11, and it's like I said, it's really collaborative. We're almost like work for the same company, but not at the same time. It's really nice, and we get a lot out of it at the same time. So
Yeah, I think going along the collaboration lines, so 2 weeks ago, we actually had a big event here, I think we call it hackathon.
Hackathon, yeah.
We had a hackathon here for an entire weekend, and we helped build a mentorship portal. So it's basically a website that will match a mentor with a mentee, if that's a term, in the community that want to get together. So for example, Mayor Coos is a mentor. He would put on there what time he's available, what day, and someone could say, I want to meet him, and it would match the two up, send emails, and sort of bring the two parties together. And it's a way to reach people in the community who want to get connected to leaders. Whether it's a student at ISU looking forward to a career and wants to stay in town, or someone that really wants to further their business venture and find a like-minded person to help them grow.
for those of you who don't know what a hackathon is, all of you guys know what a hackathon is? Anyone?
You should tell.
Yeah, hacking kind of has a bad, sometimes has a bad turn in the media, so
A serial killer would be.
we appreciate the opportunity to clarify. Go ahead.
In the last few years, the word hack has actually gone from dug itself out of its hole, it's negative, I'm going to break things and steal money and stuff, into this positive, I'm going to take all these loose pieces and put them together and create something cool. So hackathon it was promoted for about a month. We got a bunch of web developers and different internet marketers and people here, and the goal was to build BN mentors in a weekend. We got pretty far, we didn't finish, some things came up, problems, whatever, couldn't finish the weekend, but we got the website up and running. It's not functional, but it's there, it's alive, and it's like 50% done, which is, I don't know if you guys ever know anything about web development, but getting to a point like that is amazing in 3 days. So just the power of bringing everybody into this place, everyone's pounding it out, and we get a website up in 3 days. So that's what hackathons are all about. We plan on having different events like that and getting different websites up. This one happened to be for the town of Normal, but it could be for various different ideas. And there's very different forms of hackathons. Some other sort of open things we're doing is, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but the open house, which we're going to plan on having every single month, is a open house. And you come in here, network, learning about the space. It's going to be sort of a membership attempt to get people to come in here and potentially sign up. And then once you learn about it at the open house, if you follow along on the 19th, is a Spark event, which is brand new, sort of launching that right now, announcing it right now, is more like an open mic meets pitch competition. You have an idea, or anywhere in the state of your business, you come up here, you pitch it to the crowd for a minute or two, and the people in the crowd who want to help you will come up to you afterward and give you a piece of paper and say, hey, you should go talk to Joe over there, and go to this website, or go to these meetups, and it's just like get resources from the crowd, essentially. So if you ever need help or a little bit to leverage, this space with entrepreneurs who work out of here, you go into Spark and get a spark, a spark into your business. So,
Want to open up some questions?
yeah, so that's a big overview. I'm sure there's some stuff we haven't covered.
What's the one thing you said you do once a quarter? Like you have the investors?
Yeah, that is, so to give you an idea of who runs this place and stuff, they're the BN Angels, the Bloomington Normal Angel Investor Network, was started by Mike Summers and Arnold Lovin, and that is a quarterly angel investor meeting, and it happens in the Alumni Center on Main Street over there, and that's once a quarter, and that's for you as an entrepreneur to pitch investors to get angel investment money. They own this space. They opened this space this summer.
They rent the space. The town owns the space.
Sure, owns the space, but this is their, I guess I don't know what to call it anymore, but then rent the space?
Yes.
Okay, so they rent the space, and then we come in here and obviously work out here. So that's the BN Angels.
Can anybody go to that, or do you have to be a member to go to that?
There's a way to be invited as a special guest. If you're an investor, you have to be an accredited investor, and so there's a little bit of a process, some IRS definitions and some things you have to fill out to be sort of pre-qualified as an investor. But as we understand it, we've had several invited guests, people who have expressed interest. Pretty low barrier to entry if you want to attend as a guest.
But if you're seeking investment.
seek to become an investor.
Yeah.
Just
there's
to
no-
see what happens,
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
happening.
It's not open to the public, you have to register ahead of time, so
Okay.
there's a bit of a sort of a process, if you will. But, yeah, that's something that if you were able to contact Being Angels through their website, they'd be able to arrange for that. So we have several guests come from government and from social services, all different agencies and different businesses coming from time to time, just to kind of get a feel for what it's like and see what's going on in the community.
So is Being Angels those two guys, Mike Summers and?
Yes, so they chair it, but it's a group of accredited investors,
Do
which
they,
are the angels.
Here in town?
Yes, yeah, and then, thank you for pointing it out, one of the goals is to keep the capital here. So the thought process is, rather than go get investment capital from Chicago, why can't we have it here? Have the investment money here, so when businesses are successful, the fruits from those trees fall down and other trees are planted, right? So what made Chicago, among other things, successful in the startup community was Groupon. So you had a bunch of local investors throw money at it, obviously Groupon's very successful. That money started to get reinvested with more startups and it stayed there. So the thought process is, we have a lot of great people here, a lot of intangibles here, why can't we have that for our community? And so that's what the Being Angels strives to do, is to keep it local. So I appreciate that question.
So you said that there are a lot of different businesses here,
Yes.
companies that work out of here,
Mhm.
and then you guys kind of, feed off each other or, collaborate.
Right.
So how different are those community, or companies, or, obviously
Very.
there are some things that you can collaborate that are transferable, kind of things you need to learn from each other, but then some of your companies, I imagine, would be quite different or would be different. How similar or different are some of those businesses that are working out here?
Well, I think at a high level, I think startups go through a lot of the same
Mhm.
learning process, right? You're
Right.
literally like borrowing socks from each other, right? Because you're just trying to just get things together,
Right.
Brandon's very talented building websites, so I ask him a lot of questions. I come from a corporate background, Brandon likes to get my take on, contacting a client or
Joke, you look at
a
this
special
email, like, I don't know if they're right here.
what am I doing here? So it's a little bit more general, but to give you an idea of how diverse our companies are, my business, I do regulatory consulting for Bitcoin companies. So Bitcoin ATM operators, Bitcoin brokerages, Bitcoin exchanges. And Brandon's business, you want to tell them about your business?
Yeah, it's a web app, a platform on the web. So if you have a public speech or presentation, it's a tool you can use to practice, record yourself so you can hear yourself speak, and also practice in front of a virtual audience so you can get over your fear of public speaking. There's been studies that show that practicing in front of a virtual audience actually elicits a real public speaking fear response, so you can actually get over your fear from home and kind of get prepared for your speech in that manner. It's called speakeasy.co with a Z-E-A-Z-Y. And I do freelance web design on the side. I don't know where Chris went, but Chris,
Yeah, he's usually online.
Chris's website is called watchmework.com, and that is
Yeah, it's really
if
cool.
any of you guys are familiar with
Oh,
Twitch.
sure.
I'm waiting on the coffee.
Oh.
Well, tell them
We're going to cue you up. We're going
please.
to talk about Watch Me Work.
I was about to
Sure.
do
Yeah, come on
that.
up.
Sure.
50% pitch of your business.
That's cool. So Watch Me Work is, are any of you familiar with twitch.tv? So for those of you who are familiar with it, it's twitch.tv for creatives. For those that you are not, it's essentially a co-working space like this online for creative professionals. So if you're working in Photoshop and I'm working in Photoshop, I pull up your live stream of you working, not with the intent that you're going to teach me everything that you know, but that we're now working in kind of the same space virtually.
So that'll probably give you an idea of the diversity of
Of
ideas and industries we
Right,
serve.
right.
QuickPix is pretty cool. QuickPix is sort of an Uber for photography. So sort of on your app, I need a photographer next week. Find a local photographer, and the idea is to lower the hourly rate. I don't know if you guys have ever hired a photographer, but I never have. But Jarek says it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, anybody been doing writing?
$300 an hour, and he wants to lower that to like $35 an hour because he can separate the photography shooting time and the editing time. And I think that's what he says makes it really expensive, because they're charging you for the editing time, but you're only paying for the shooting time. What happens is the photographer comes, shoots your shoot, goes uploads the photos, and he's going to have the crowd edit your photos for $1 a piece, and it's not going to necessarily be your photographer editing them, but it significantly lowers the price of getting professional photography. So he's sort of at the young stage in his company, got a prototype out. He's probably been working on it for 3 or 4 months now, but moving very quickly. Jarek's a bulldog when it comes to business. He gets a lot of stuff done. And then internrocket.com is I'm going to use their term, sort of like a match.com, but for internships and for interns looking for internships,
Yeah.
and then people who are offering internships to find interns.
Right.
So that's
Micro jobs, gigs.
sure, micro jobs. And the idea is like they're pushing the get into an internship, figure out if you like the field you're getting into, and then pull out if you don't, and kind of change course. Because too many people get through college, go through high school, I want to do this, majored in accounting, never did any professional accounting, and realized they hated it. So they want to go into it and get an internship in accounting, realize if you like it or not, and then pull out. So yeah, does that answer your question? They're super
Yes.
different. They're all over the place.
Yes, very interesting.
Yeah.
Any more questions? We answered it all.
I'm gonna check out my coffee.
Well,
There will be more coffee.
my question
That might have been the next
is, who's the
question.
tall person that writes it up on?
Oh, we have a step ladder in the back.
Don't spoil it.
We
I
hired
got a right
Stay on the chair on the desk.
we hired an 8-foot man. He comes in. That's his full-time job.
Tall guy.
Yeah.
So are you currently accepting more co-workers out of
Yes.
Slingshot?
Always. What's good about this space, among other things, is we have a large student contingent, so we tend to have traffic kind of come and go. It's also aligned with the academic calendar. So while there's, a dozen companies here, at any given time, there's usually about 5 or 6 people here. So there's such a flow of traffic. There's people coming in in the morning, in the afternoon. It's really nice to be able to have that flow of different people at different times. So it's not necessarily crowded. So yes, to answer your question. Also, sponsorships are welcome as well. So if you're interested in being a sponsor, we'd love to have that as well. Or if you just wanted to support the community, come out to one of our events, or sponsor an event or something at a smaller scale, that's obviously an opportunity as well.
So obviously you have your investors and your sponsors and things like that, that, the being angels are the ones sort of managing the space or paying for the space. But
That's right.
do you have someone that is sort of the point leader that makes sure that you have things like paper towels and toilet paper, or is it
It's-
sort of a co?
It's very communal.
Yeah.
It's very communal. Obviously, the Being Angels provide the capital, and they're funded by our generous sponsors. But it is very communal in here. Like I said, we help each other out. It's not just work that we help each other out with. I made the list. 2 of the guys did the shopping last night. Brandon and I put away stuff this morning. We take turns sweeping the floor. Little things like that just have to get done in the early stages. We're not quite at the Chicago 1871 level yet, so we do have to do a lot of things on our own.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of what being a startup is all about, really finding a solution to something, working together and collaborating.
And do you have any I don't know how long this has been open?
Just summer.
Just the summer.
Yeah.
Okay. So you probably have
Yeah.
been long enough to have real success stories of someone who
Nothing
Yes.
but crazy, like raising $1 billion.
or been able to rent their own
The next group on is here
space or
somewhere.
hire
Yeah.
enough people that they are sort of graduating out of the co-working
Sure.
space.
I would say the closest one would be Interrock.
Intern Rock, I mean, they had a little bit of a runway before they got
Yeah.
here.
Interrocket's like 3 or 4 years old, but they've the ones have raised significantly more money than all of us. But no one like has blown up, gone viral, crazy. Like
Yeah, it's only been since July, so right,
But it-
hold your horses.
yeah, but to sort of answer your question, Speakeasy and Jarek's company, Quick Picks, we got accepted to go to something called, be part of the alpha team of this tech conference in New Orleans called Collision Conference, and it's a huge tech conference. There's a lot of super influential, like startup-y venture capitalists from Silicon Valley, and people all over the place come to this Collision Conference, and the alpha team is a hand-picked startup team, and you guys get to like exhibit in front of all these people. So the Uber guys got their initial seed investment from being a part of the alpha team in Collision. So we have a lot of opportunities there. So maybe ask that question again and like May, come back. 1 million cups in May. Yeah, that's that.
And I think it's interesting that you and Jarek sort of applied separately, and
Yes.
2 companies from of all places, Bloomington Normal, got into such a prestigious
Yeah.
place. It was just an amazing story, and
Yeah.
if anyone knows in the media, that'd make a great story.
Yeah.
Maybe they would answer our calls. Yes.
So I have a question for people who have a passion or idea that is not tech-based,
Mhm.
how are you reaching out to them or encouraging them to use this or become a part of your community?
It's open to all. Personally, my clients are in the tech space, but I'm not, so I'm in the compliance space, right? Everybody's like, yay, compliance. Definitely non-tech, so we are open to,
Like, so
Any
I'm just
background?
is very, like, completely random. Someone who has designed a new type of salad tongs and is very
Sure.
interested in, you know, like,
Thing.
they're gonna
How
need
is
a thing,
marketing
yeah, like, they're
Actual
gonna need a
thing.
website, but outside of that, they're not having anything to do in the realm of tech, like,
So
Are they-
what we would do is we would tell them to go to, like you're saying, like they haven't really gotten off the ground, they have this idea.
right, they're just wanting to
Yep.
figure
The
out
next,
how.
Ron Popeil.
There you go.
okay?
We would ask them to come through the meetup track.
Okay.
It's all like,
Open Coffee Club.
meet with Joe, and Joe, Open Coffee Club is heavily based on like, let's take your idea, and let's pull it apart. Who are your customers? Where are you gonna do your marketing? What do you think your price points are at? And like, get an idea of, it's called the business, do you wanna bring it up?
Yeah,
It's in the back room. This giant business
Okay,
model
awesome.
canvas, and you kind of fill it out to get a really good idea of what your idea is. And the idea is that you go to the coffee club a few times, work with Joe, and then you would come to the bootstrapper meetup. So now you got this idea, so there's that business model canvas that Joe uses.
Okay.
So if you wanna like, in 20 seconds, go over what purple tongs, new tongs will go.
Right. So business model canvas, the idea is to really get your business idea out on paper, literally, or on marketing board here, canvas. To really identify who your customers are, what do you value you bring to the market, some of your key activities, and this is certainly not tech focused. This is designed for a broad base of audience, whether it's a physical product, service.
Because I think for certain people, that's going to be a hurdle. So,
Right.
you know, like, oh, well, Slingshot's all for like websites or apps. I'm not going to know what to do there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we've tried to stay away from that. Obviously, the Slingshot name didn't really have a tech component
Right.
to it.
That's
and
yeah.
We're trying to make sure that we give that inclusive, vibe that we
Right.
really nurture here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the sort of the marketplace, the way it is, you tend to have more
Sure.
startups in tech, and we have I would say, a younger crowd, with the exception of me, that sort of comes in here and conducts their business. So you tend to have more of a tech focus.
Right. It's sort of just
Numbers
the
game,
nature of the
basically.
industry, the barrier to entry to get into tech, there's hardly any manufacturing costs, and you can either do
Right,
it yourself.
right.
So I think it's just the nature of the game, people wanting to start things up, having a website, so like I can just find someone to develop it for me and join my team and give them half my company or whatever it is. And I keep saying purple tongs. Purple tongs, I'm gonna stick to it.
There's your new product.
Yeah,
Here,
purple tongs. You're gonna need capital to get that stuff developed
Yeah.
or manufactured.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Cool.
So that was, I'm sorry, that was kind of what I was thinking as far as like an age range too. So it's more of a younger
Yeah.
group that utilizes a space.
Mhm.
I mean, there is company memberships and there is people who
Yeah.
are members but aren't in here as often.
Mhm.
Okay.
But the majority are probably 22 to 30 maybe.
Well, I think I'm actually
35.
youngest. Joe might be the
I'm
oldest
probably the
one
oldest
here,
at
so
35.
22 to 35
Yeah.
Yeah.
is the range. Exactly.
And we would really like to have people of all age ranges, because I think that it really brings in a different experience, a different set of skills that maybe could really help some of us younger, well, not so young, but younger people here, with different perspectives. So any way that you could open that up or have any ideas, that'd be fantastic.
Okay.
How are you marketing this space? To
So
bring it
that's a
to-
really good question. We haven't really been doing a ton of that. It's a lot been just sort of super organic, people walking by, people hearing about it. We recently just had more of like a half-annual review of how all of this was running, all the meetups. So we're like, for example, gonna go, instead of weekly meetups, or we're trying to go to monthly meetups, because we don't have enough time to build up the curriculum and the momentum to get people to come to the next meetup. So having it every month will open up some more traction. So we went and looked back and said, you know what, the meetup schedule's not working, so we're gonna change that. How do we get more people in here? Let's get monthly open houses. So we're like trying to figure out what went wrong, what went right. We had one open house in this past 6 months, and it was amazing. And it took us like a week to schedule, no like marketing about it, and we filled this place up. So we're like, that worked. We should do that more often. So things like that, we're figuring that out as it's an experiment in itself. This is a startup in itself, trying to get people in here. So.
Do you guys have social media? Are you on social media?
Yeah, oh yeah. We have MailChimp, we have Twitter, Facebook.
The Facebook just got set up. Don't-
That's for 1 million cups. The one for
Oh,
Slingshot.
Yeah, so we have a website.
Angels have one, Slingshot has one, every social media. Yeah, so we're getting out there, tweeting, retweeting, and just sort of making that presence known. One of the things we have been looking at is how do we connect with this community, right? So Bloomington Normal has a very sort of stodgy reputation as it pertains to business. So this whole idea of entrepreneurship and startup, coming from Boston, that was awesome. Everybody wanted to be involved. People were falling all over themselves to sponsor and be involved. And coming to Bloomington Normal, it's like, what's an incubator or entrepreneurship? What is this all about? So we're finding a little bit of a culture barrier that we're really trying to come up against. So if anyone has any way to help us break down that wall, we're all for it. Yes.
So, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
My question was, so you guys started up in July.
Correct.
Why here? Why now? Was it because the being an Angels investor started up or is there like an organic reason why, or you were just like, I'm from here, I want to be here?
So yeah, that was part of the Angel story, right? Again, wanting to keep that capital here and wanting to really invest in the community. I think there were some other thoughts at the time about maybe our community might be a little fragile because we have some employers that are going through some changes relative to geography, and there's sort of a change in the economy, right? So we have finance and insurance is really sort of kind of a flatline business. We don't really have much tech here. Is there an opportunity to kind of jumpstart and create another leg to the local Bloomington Normal economy?
Mike Summers, who's a guy who was really the champion of this place, his real reason for getting to be an Angel started and getting this space started was when he was starting Intern Rocket, he had a lot of trouble doing things like this. He had to scramble, where can I get my team to work? He ended up in the basement of the Fox and Hound, and he was like, oh, how can I find capital? And then he struggled, and then he built the Angel Investor Network. And now this place is here, so other people don't have to struggle to find an office space. Angel Investor Network's there, so other people don't have to struggle to find capital. So he's trying to streamline his super bumpy process to make it smooth for everybody else. So it's all part of that sort of vision to make it really easy, to what Joe said, keep capital here, keep talented companies here, attract talented people to come to this town and make it, get more innovative companies in here and not really relying on, put all our weight on larger companies.
Right, when the leg only has 1 or 2 stools, or the stool has only 1 or 2 legs, you get kind of worried if that gets fragile. So wanting to create that extra
I
leg
have a
of the stool.
question. I want to tag off on what Carrie said, like if it's not tech related, because like for example, I've listened to a ton of Amazon. I think I mentioned that to you guys, and all about the Amazon FBA and all that, and everything they talk about is going to China, for example. So if you're trying to keep everything, trying to promote in the community and stuff, that would be kind of a cool concept. Where do you go around here where are manufacturers? Who makes the things around here? If you wanted to try to start something and support the community and keep it in the USA, I don't even know.
The makerspace is that.
But and then the
There's
tech
there's several
comes
places.
I mean,
Right.
that's a really good point. I mean, there is the 3D printing shop that actually came out of won the first prize entrepreneurship award a couple of years ago from ISU, and Rob Martin started up this 3D printing shop. So it's in Bloomington. I mean, you can go there and you could prototype something relatively quickly
My
and
purple
print it.
tongs.
Purple
Yeah.
tongue, send it to
I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris, because we do have a lot of partnerships with different folks, and it's not just in these walls, right? So we talk a lot with the folks in Peoria. In fact, is he the president of the EDC, Brandon? So one of the members of the EDC came down, not yet, one of the members of the EDC came down from Peoria and was sharing sort of tips because they sort of saw us as, hey, we were there 2 years ago, right? Because we're asking all these questions. How'd you get 1 million cups? How'd you get people coming in? What'd you do here? How did you reach these people? How did you get the media to come? All these different rapid fire questions, and to be able to have that outlet and share information, and we share some of our stories of where we are in the process, and it's always nice to have that connection. And we're far enough away where we don't see each other as competitors. We see each other as collaborators, which I think is pretty cool.
We are a little bit manufacturing challenged around here. We're kind of skinny on manufacturing, and we're getting skinnier. We have, but there are some smaller shops that have CNC machines, wire EDMs, mills, lathes,
Was it
Inject-
FlexiCheck?
well, FlexiCheck Tech, I wouldn't say they would be a shop I would approach to manufacture something I wanted to build.
Oh, you're just saying, I see. I was just.
Yeah, but there are other shops I would feel comfortable walking in and say, hey, I got this thing, can
I
you
see.
make it?
Yeah.
Or how can we make it? Injection molders are some pretty small level injection molders.
I didn't even know any of those. These are things.
That's why you come here.
That's it.
Well, that's what, yeah, I had no clue. Because my vision, everything I've been learning online and listening to this one guy in his podcast is like, go to China and you research Alibaba and Alibaba Express. I'm like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. And you deal with the shipping and all this. And
Manufacturing is a challenge. And that's the part of that.
it's cheaper and stuff,
But there's some challenges in manufacturing in China. You know, one, all your meetings are at 3 o'clock in the morning.
right. They have a big Chinese holiday that comes up where they shut down.
That'd be good for a lot of our members here,
But-
3 in the morning.
Yes.
Prime
I don't
time.
know, this is the kind of stuff like I'd love to talk to people, learn.
That's okay. Well, I'm glad we have networking before and after, so this is a great opportunity to meet with you.
Our manufacturing base flies way under the radar in Bloomington. It's not very big, and what there is, flies way under the radar. Very seldom gets talked about, in my opinion.
We can relate.
And I'd say all the people I know that are in it would tell you the same thing. And some of them don't want to be on the radar. They've been on the radar and it sucked.
Mhm.
And so they, you know, we've got a manufacturing plant here in Bloomington. Normal just celebrated 100 years old last year. 100
I
years
didn't
old.
know that.
All
I
right.
didn't know that.
Homegrown. It started in a garage here in Bloomington.
What is
Those
this?
are the stories we love.
Mechanical devices.
Okay.
Wow.
And they do some really cool stuff out there.
I'll have to get in touch.
Yeah, for
Where are
sure.
they located at?
They're on GE Road. They're
Okay.
really almost, not quite next to
Are there any last questions? We could break it off and refill our coffee up here. Anything else?
Oh, I've got a question.
Oh, her.
What can the audience do to help us?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So part of 1 Million Cups is the people that run 1 Million Cups, which is us. We usually ask as the last question to the speaker, what can 1 Million Cups do for you? So to kind of get you used to it for future meetings.
So I have
That's
a
how we close
question.
it.
What
Yes.
can 1 million cups
Awesome.
do for you guys?
That was an amazing question.
That was awesome. Whoa.
It just came to me like,
It just-
like a vision.
That was out of left field. I don't know. You want to take this,
I would
Brandon?
say,
Are you comfortable?
Based along the lines of helping us spread the word, if you know
Yes.
people who could be a part of the space, or you could be a part of the space, come in, come to the open house, come to Spark, come tell people who, you know, have this mindset
Tell your
to come in
members,
here,
you
right?
know, tell your community.
Come in here and help us out. We need help getting off the ground and into, you know, everyone's minds, because this place is important for this town, and it's hard breaking over the barrier and getting into people's heads that it is important. So.
All right.
There's the Facebook page for Slingshot. Is
Yes.
there a Facebook group if you wanted to, talk when you're not,
We don't have a group, but we go through the meetups. We have an internal Slack, so if you are a member, you get access to the Slack, which is a great way to communicate. For those that don't know, Slack is a collaboration tool. So it's kind of a mix of direct messaging and sort of groups, like almost like a Facebook group.
It's like a private instant messaging.
Yeah, private instant messaging service. You can
Is it
share
like-
documents and information.
But it's free.
Yeah,
is it
it's-
like that thing that all the kids, like my kids' teams use, GroupMe? Is it like GroupMe?
Yeah, but it's more for businesses.
It's called Slack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I think I heard of that.
Cool.
Cool.
Great, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Drink the coffee.
Yeah. Fresh pots. Oh, yeah, feel free to have a look around and ask us any questions you want.
Yeah.
Stick around to network. We'll